Tuff Trax. I'm Scott Douglas with Army Armstrong and Chris Chapman. Boy, you talk about the big and the bad dogs. Here they come out now in the modified tractors. Fred Freeman, Mean Mistreated. We've talked about all the engine combinations, Army. We're going to see them right now.
Well, this sport is determined by weight. I don't care how many engines you put on that rascal. As long as it weighs the right amount, you're going to be in the ballpark. Freeman's going after a lead distance right now that has already been established of 274 and 11. He relies on alcohol-burning Chevrolet engines to make the horsepower. Each engine will generate around 1,500 horsepower. So let's see what it's going to be. An interesting part of this sport, and a lot of people do not pay attention to it, the wheel speed over 160 miles an hour.
Army, he's got to get past 274.11 to get the lead. So let's watch for that distance.
Weight box comes up on him. Freeman cuts the ground speed, goes right down the middle of the Bowling Green play. Looks like a decent run. Real good. Hey, he's there. 285 we get.
285.40 to be exact. Your new leader, Fred Freeman.
Freddie, what's your assumption of the run? Satisfied with it?
Yes, Army. I just took over the lead. There's some big horsepower tractors back there, but I just beat some guys that got equal or more horsepower than I do, and I had a real good run, and I run a little extra heavy weight on the front tonight to keep the front end down. I think that was the secret to making it work here on this track.
Did you have to use the brakes at all on your run?
I was tapping the right brake lightly to keep me over there because it seems like if it ever drug you over to the left, it just sucked you right out of bounds. I've had that problem up here before.
The Sassy Massey up next. Rick Ilsley, all the way out of New Hampshire, be in Bowling Green, Ohio, for the granddaddy of all the outdoor pulls.
Now, Rick used to drive this tractor years ago, got out of the driver's seat. He's coming back in it at the granddaddy of them all. Relies on the awesome Chrysler horsepower. Look at this. He's banging it on the right side of the track. Oh, right there. He's out of the ballpark.
Rick Ilsley is our first one to go all the way. A full pull for the Sassy Massey. And we'll see if anybody can catch him and force a pull-off. But what a great run, Army. Here he comes again.
You know, I guess it's kind of like riding a bicycle. Once you can drive one of these behemoth monster tractors, you can just climb right back on it. That's exactly what this young man did.
Thanks to Sassy Massey right out of Bowling Green. So Rick Ilsley has a full pull. That's the distance not to beat now. All you can do is equal it and force a pull-off. And a guy who has that capability is up next. Dave Walsh and the Irish Challenger.
Walsh relies on the Arius racing engines. Around $30,000 a pop. Horsepower will not be the problem. And Walsh figure out what route to take. He watched the Sassy Massey in front of him. He set all his weight. He's looking awfully good right now. Oh, they figured this play out in Bowling Green. Look at this.
He's gone, a full pull. So it's been a tough weekend in some other categories for Dave Walsh and the Irish Challenger. But here, he is taking it into the pull-off.
So far, 1989 had been a good year. Then you come into Bowling Green, and it's like there's a monkey on your back. I think the monkey is gone now after that run.
I hope so. It was a good run, and I'm here to kick some butt, and I think I'll try my hardest to do it.
He'll have a chance to do a little more kicking. There's going to be a pull-off later. Right now, another fellow with the capabilities to get in there, Mike Piper, and just add dirt. He's already got a Bowling Green win this year.
He's got a Bowling Green win in a lighter class, but what's happened here, the complexity of the class has changed. You cannot win the class with one run. With all this horsepower, you must make two runs now. You got to make a full pull, and then come back getting the pull-off. Can Piper do it? Look at the tire speed, the dirt coming up. Awesome horsepower.
Mike Piper does it, a full pull and just add dirt. You know, Mike is chasing Jim Engler for the points title, and this was critical to get into this pull-off. He does it, and we'll go into the pull-off now. There are three in there. Let's get some words, though, from Mike Piper and just add dirt.
Mike Piper, you just joined the Bad Boys Club. What are you going to do to get to those guys in the pull-off?
Beat him.
You can't put it any plainer than that. Mr. Piper thinks he's going to take it off. Here's another guy who I guarantee you thinks he's going to take it all here today. Dave Banner and the Bandit.
Dave and Ralph Banner have a history at this track. These people in Bowling Green, Ohio love these guys. They seem to really get cocked and primed to come into Bowling Green. Look at this. He's got his work cut out for him. Ground speed starts to come around. And he's gone. Oh, Banner's going to be in the pull-off too, Scott.
Making four in the pull-off at least as Dave Banner and the Bandit go out of Bowling Green, and we'll get ready for the pull-off.
Well, Dave Banner, many times you've been a national champion, but I can just tell by talking to you, you get excited every time you come into this arena in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Oh, the heavyweight class at Bowling Green is what you look for all year, you know. You gear up for this place, you know, so that's what it's about.
your national points leader, Tim Engler in Mission Impossible. The story here, Army Armstrong, he's gone to the right side. Nobody else has.
He went to the right side. He burped the throttle a little bit on the starting line. That could come back to haunt him 300 feet away. The weight looks to be not just right. He started on the right, comes all the way to the left. We might be watching. We are watching a major upset. Engler will not be going to the pull-off.
Tim Engler comes up short at 289.1. He can finish no better than 5th here at Bowling Green. A big surprise. Let's get Army over to Tim Engler and find out about it.
Just out of my own curiosity, if you had to go back to that line right now, what would you do different?
I'd move it back on the left side of the track, and I'd probably be right out the gate.
Thanks, Army. We'll return to Bowling Green later for the pull-off. But when we come back, the mud...
And out about the exciting matchup from Kris Chapman. Kris?
USA 1 and Gravedigger trying to make a comeback tonight in the national points race against the Equalizer and Carolina Crusher, but it's not going to happen. USA 1 driver, Rod Litzau, he was out tonight because of an injury, and his replacement driver, Steve Wilkie, he was DQ'd in first-round competition. And then it's the Gravedigger, back to the usual, breakage. Dennis Anderson in the Digger, cursed tonight by the full moon of his home state here in Virginia. Let's go now to the quarterfinal pairing.
The big new engine of Carolina Crusher will be coming out against Buffalo Tremor. The Tremor with the upset over USA 1. That'll be our first quarterfinal matchup. Then we're going to get a look at the Clydesdale and Bennett Clark, who put Stomper on the trailer. And Clydesdale goes up against your World Championship points leader, David Morris, and the Equalizer from Springfield, Tennessee. After that, Scott Stevens brings out the King Crunch Chevrolet to go up against Dave Wysork in the Nightlife, the guy who broke the hearts of a lot of Virginia fans when he beat Gravedigger. Then an interesting note as we round out the quarterfinals, the Mad Dog will come back. Wild Hair won that match, but Bob Green's truck broke, so Bob will drive Mad Dog against John Moore, and no problem.